Welcome to the Walnut Army podcast, where we interview viewers like you. I'm your host, Latch Walnut.
Now remember, 2 years of service equals citizenship. Would you like to know more? My name is Dark Crusader. This is the 75th public server, number 2, and I am known for the best little bird pilot known in the server recently.
I just want to clarify that no one asked me to do this. I'm doing this just to give y'all information and entertainment. If y'all want me to come to a server that y'all like, let me know down in the comments and I'll check it out. But enjoy the video. Thank you.
I'm Arma, and I'm on Census Ranger Regiment, and what I'm most known for is long-range sniping on that server. Also mortars.
I'm Voxbody, and this
Perfect.
is 75th Ranger Regiment PvE Public Operations Server 2. I'm probably best known in the server for my piloting and my gunnery. I do a lot of cast and transport. People know me because I beg for Hueys.
I'm Carman. I've been playing on the server probably about 6 months to a year now, and I'm known for being the local schizophrenic and occasionally flying. This is 75th Ranger Regiment PvE Public Operations Server 2. I'm the pilot, and Foxbody's the gunner.
We fly this thing together.
So, starting with Dark, how long have you been in this server?
Oh, I've been playing this server for at least 2 years, as long as the game's been on Xbox, really. Yeah, I've met a lot of toxic people, so the list is endless.
Acrobat, how about you? How long have you been in the server?
Just took about a year prolonged break, but in total I've been for about 2 years as well.
2 years, okay. Foxbody, what about you?
I'm more of a newer gen, but I've made my time here kind of valuable, so I've been playing this server 2-3 months now, and I'm a part of the 75th Milson.
Beautiful. And Conman?
I've been around here for probably a year now, and I haven't stood out too much, but I somewhat known since my name's somewhat unique.
Okay. Now, are all y'all part of the Discord?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not anymore, no.
Why aren't you part of the Discord anymore? What happened?
I used to be in the 75th. I was in the mortar regiment when it got stood up. I was in second bat, I think in the gravel company or something like that. And a little bit of drama later, I decided to leave. And then this is my first time actually back on. So, yeah.
Yeah, what made you take a break?
I was kind of getting burnt out. Outside of here, I work for the government. Not military, but just federal. And I got my new job. I was really focused on that. And then not to mention, I was also not home for a long time. So plus with everything else, they wanted me to start doing like leadership roles, and there was a lot of toxicity going on in 2nd Battalion at that time. So I decided to take a break. Kind of without telling anybody, which was kind of a dick move on my part, but I just felt like it was kind of right in the moment, you know? And then later on, people started contacting me like, hey, why'd you leave? Like, where are you, man? And I was like, well, kind of just need a break. Need to recharge my batteries. People like that.
And since you've been back, have you seen an improvement, or is it about the same?
I say I've seen a good improvement. I'm not in the server, so I can't say like for certain like of any improvement on the deep level. But on the outside, it seems more healthier. People seem more friendly and more open to chat. This, for example, I've never experienced it before, but I don't know. I'll say it's better.
Everybody else is in the Discord, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm in public and private.
Okay. What is y'all's thoughts on the Discord? Is it a pretty positive environment? Do y'all see any negativities that y'all wish would be changed, or any features that you think may be added?
I'll weigh on this. I feel like the Discord is a great place. I feel like you run into a lot of positivity there, but you also run into a good bit of negativity. People come and complain about how shitty the servers are, or just a bitch and moan inside of the general chats about whatever they can, which is something you can't really escape, so I don't blame them for that.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but the humans are humans. At the end of the day, everybody's got jobs, so some people might just be stressed that day. You just got to accept that people are people, you can't change it. So the server is positive most of the time, except from the odd time where people might have the stress on their shoulders, but other than that, it's perfect. You can find people to talk to if you're struggling, Like I have, if you need questions, you can ask anybody in that server and they'll answer with the utmost truth. And I've found nothing but positive things in that server so far.
If you don't mind, I'll be adding on that. One thing that I do miss is the honesty. There was a lot of honesty. Like, everything else was a little rough on the edge sometimes, like back in the day, but like it was a lot of honesty, and I really enjoyed that compared to my other Arma experiences.
Would you say that they're not as honest now as they were back then by any experience?
I can weigh in on this. Yeah, I've seen a couple instances where it's like people don't own up to what they did and they have to skirt around it and they just generally make it worse for themselves inside the Discord. I can give you an example of where, like, I've been honest personally. Like, I had an incident with J-Hook, who you did a prior interview with, where he was my heli pilot for the Apache. And he decided it'd be a great idea to look me into having a beef with some guy. And he kept killing him. And I kept telling him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. And then when we got face-to-face with an admin, he lied and blamed it all on me, which kind of sucked. But
So you're telling me the man that I interviewed yesterday that says he's the best Cobra pilot falsely framed you for team killing?
well, sort of. It's a complex situation, but when it comes to it, people aren't as honest as they used to be in these servers.
I could see that. What about you, Conman? You got anything to say about that?
From what I've seen, it's pretty positive, but there are occasionally I've seen some people come in and try and post false information about the server owner and just try and grief either the Discord or just the public servers. I've seen it a few times.
I got you.
And to weigh in with what Foxbody was saying about J-Hook, he does sometimes have a short temper. I've noticed, like, if he doesn't get his way, say, like, he doesn't get an Apache or Cobra or some kind of heli right away, I've seen him throw a fit sometimes. Like, I've seen him sometimes just straight up, like, come in the server, ask for a helicopter, told no, and then straight up leave. And other times I've seen him try and shoot down helicopters.
So you would say he's a pretty toxic player, but he comes around enough that they just kind of keep him around?
It's very rare that he's blatantly toxic.
So it would kind of be like what Dark said, is he'd think it would be days that he had bad days and he'd just kind of coming in there to blow off steam, or...
I would debate this, not really.
Yeah, sometimes he can go over a little overboard.
Yeah.
Is the things that come out of his mouth, you wouldn't expect to get his mother with the same thing.
I truthfully don't know why there hasn't been issues with him and he hasn't been set straight yet, but I hope that happens.
He could be colonizer for 2 weeks until an admin told him it was racist. Like, genuinely did.
Damn.
Like, straight up generational hate.
We'll call you Christopher Columbus. Like, damn.
Yeah, like, this is fucked
Christopher
up.
Columbus was Spanish.
Like, yeah, hold on.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? Fuck, okay.
So on to the next question. So do y'all remember whenever the servers of Arma were being doxxed?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
How did the 75th handle that? Were they shut down too?
Oh, yes.
Everything was-
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was. People were trying to find ways around it with like lessons and stuff like that, but there's nothing really they could do. It was going for about a week or two.
Servers teamed up with active modders to try and fix or try and battle it as well. I know there was I know personal people that tried actively trying to find a way to get around it.
I was on the DDoSers Telegram too.
Yeah.
That was he was a flaming racist and he was just a general piece of shit and he wanted money out of Bohemia and he was also spewing hate about the WCS servers and how he didn't like how they portrayed the conflict, even though Russia wins 90% of the time on those WCS servers.
Sounds about right for any DDoS or hacker.
He was a flaming racist, and he generally was just not a good person. That was entertaining to scroll through the Telegram, though.
He got shut down by Telegram.
So whenever it did get DOSed and everybody started scrambling, what was the server's protocol in their Discord? Like, what did they tell y'all? I mean, was it just kind of in the dark for a while? Where was it, hey, we think this is going on, we're trying to fix it? Were they giving y'all updates?
The first couple of days were it was pretty dead. There wasn't really much talk, and I feel like that was just the admins and Brewware scrambling to figure out what they could do.
They put everybody on LOA for like until the servers got back up, and then I'm pretty sure they just reversed it after. I was talking to Ace about it the other day.
From what I can remember, the first 2 or 3 days, it seemed like they were doing it like every other time the servers got just the back end went down or something. But then after a while, they would try and get the server up for like 5 minutes, and then it would go right back down.
Yeah.
They kept trying stuff, but it wouldn't work for a long term.
Would you say they took a pretty big impact on their community size after?
Not really.
I think
It
they
wasn't-
lost some people.
Wasn't significant. I feel like it was just an opening eye for some people, and they decided it was just their time to go. Which is it is what it is.
You got to understand, they bought a game for like, how much is it? $40?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, $40, and the people that bought it around that time, and they bought a game, and they just like, oh, I bought a game, it doesn't work. I'm not playing this shit again. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah,
Honestly-
how long was the DDoS for you boys? I feel like there were spaces when you could play, but
It
for
was-
the most
we
part,
had-
it was about 2 weeks for me.
Yeah,
Like,
we
it
had
was-
a week where it
would be,
didn't
like,
work
out
at
for a
all.
week, and then it would be up because from what I can remember, the DDoSers tried to like have it down, put it up, and then like while it was up, they were bargaining, and then something went wrong in the bargain, and then they would take it down, and then it would go up.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like constant-
something
it
like
was like a
that.
So I heard about that in the
constant
Telegram.
seesaw
They were
between
so they
Bohemia and
were trying to negotiate with Bohemia, and then some Bohemia wasn't cooperating, so they decided to DDoS it again. And then Bohemia hired their own cybersecurity team.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the end, they ended up spending the money anyway. But I guess they decided, I'm not going to give these guys any fucking money and make them waste their time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
They would have come back.
I guess if they're gonna spend that kind of money, at least they're protecting themselves for the future too. You know.
Yeah. Wait, so did they actually pay them? Like, I actually never heard that.
No.
No, they
they
never
didn't.
paid them. They never paid them. The guy was like super
Okay, good.
angry about it.
Okay,
He
good.
tried DDoSing it again like the next week, and he got shut down immediately.
Yeah.
Was he actually Russian?
Yeah.
Yes. He was flaming racist Russian.
I heard it was like Russian, like Belarus.
Yeah, he was
Poland.
taking computer science in a Russian university.
How do you feel like the community, especially Common, because you said you've been here briefly, right? You just started playing.
About around a year.
I said I've been here like pretty briefly.
Okay, so Fox Body then. So do you feel like the community that you are a part of now, whenever you first got on, was closed off, or was it pretty open to newcomers?
Are we talking for Arma in general, or are we talking for the 75th specific?
For the 75th.
So the 75th, it has a sense of exclusivity in the fact you're joining a pretty good group of people. But they're always open. There's recruiters in these servers all the time that will talk to you like a person, and they want to understand what you like and what you want to do. And generally, it's pretty open. And they're very welcoming. Like I got into Rough Rider 1 for the 160th SOAR. I'm a crew chief. All the guys talk to me immediately. They're pretty open about it. They love to know what you like to do. And 160th has a pretty good bond with each other. And we play video games every day. Like just a couple hours ago, we were all playing War Thunder and all that. It was pretty fun. But generally, it's really open, and I think like they love new people coming into the community.
Nice. So it's, I mean, from what I can tell, I've just been on the servers for about a week. I got on here, and there was quite a bit of people that were pretty friendly. But then there was also this group. It was like Shadow Company, and they're
not associated with the 75th in any way, shape, or form. They're an external group. They're an external group. And they like to come in the 75th primarily, but they're not a part of the 75th Milsim in any way. Ignore those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they just seem standoffish. They some of them were pretty nice, but for the most part, it seemed like they weren't really interested in talking to me at all.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't know why they're so serious about a server that they don't like particularly own. Like they're super serious about the 75th servers, and they take like the pub ops like these really seriously, which is fair. Like there's some seriousness to have a little bit of fun, but they kind of go overboard sometimes. I don't mind them. I love flying them in and having them do recon and stuff like that. but they could be a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, Acrobat?
Acrobat, I love that. 75th, I was around way back when it kind of was. I would have formed out kind of right after the coming months. I like to say Shadow Group reminds me of the first time I joined 75th was standoff.
Wait, somebody shoot that man.
War crime him.
Back in the early days of 75th, kind of reminded me a lot of Shadow Group in some ways where they were a little bit standoffish, especially the training and the cadre. Because since I host mortars, I learned a lot about how mortars work, how to operate them, and with cadre, they were very like, you gotta learn it first so you can teach everyone else. And it was kind of like a very like kind of like a drill instructor kind of way, which is kind of good for the milsim aspect of it. But like at the same time, it sucked because people would be like, why the hell are you yelling at me? This is a video game. And at the same time, people were like, I love that you yell at me because it's a video game. You know, I just had milsim experience. But it's gotten better over the time, obviously. And to my knowledge, I'm not in the group anymore, so I can't really say much to the other guys around me. But back then, it was harder, I'd say, and in a good way, compared to now.
What about you, Dart?
Sorry about that. What did you say?
Okay, let's just move on to the next question because I forgot. That guy distracted me.
I'm sorry, man. I was
handling spewing.
Yeah, my dog was doing something. I had to take care of it.
Does the 75th have any competitors?
Quite a few.
Yes, yeah. So, right, let me go first. I was a part of one of them competitors, 2-5 Pathfinders. I do not know if they're still up there with the 75th, but they were allied at the time, and that's how I left the 75th in the first place. But that's a completely different story. But anyways, we joined them, and they were very, very strict. We was not to recruit in their servers, and we had to get permission and set hours to recruit in their servers. And one of the people that was set to recruit for us jumped in their server without knowing this and started recruiting. And they got very, very angry and threatened to cut the truce between us. And we somehow managed to save it. Come back, we did a joint up. I wasn't there personally because I had to take care of things like in real life. And I come back in the server really late, so it was just finishing things up. I joined, everybody's arguing. Everybody. There's about 50 people in that server arguing at once. I leave it immediately. I was not a part of that, no thank you. But anyways, I asked what happened after, and apparently one of the captains of that battalion started screaming at one of the higher ups of my battalion. So they just had like a dick measuring contest in the middle of the airfield. I don't know if that is happening now, but I left that one a long time ago. This is about a year ago, maybe-ish. But yeah, if you're allied with the 75th, they were very strict about recruiting in their servers.
To add on to that, I was a part of the VRT. I don't remember exactly what their exact milsim is called, but it was so long ago. But I was a part of their milsim for a little bit. And I'm not going to name names, but some people, I don't believe they're allied. At the point I joined, they weren't allied with the 75th. I don't know if they're allied now. I'd have to check. But they had some strong words against the 75th. I don't particularly know why, if there's bad blood between higher ups inside of it, but generally they just didn't like the 75th. I don't know why. Very, very strict about the 75th recruiting as well in the servers. They talked about like just recruiting in general. A lot of milsims are very strict about recruiting in their servers, which is fair. You don't want to poach members. But
are there any toxic admins on this server? And if so, who?
Oh, it depends on the seriousness of the situation. So sometimes an admin could be like pinged in the server and like to sort out somebody that's shooting at base too much, like at the helicopters, at vehicles, at friendlies. But sometimes it varies on the severity of what people do. If they're like team killing over and over again and like blowing shit up, they'll put like somebody that's having a bad day in the server just to put their foot down and won't mind telling them, to fuck off. But other than that, every admin is reasonable, I think.
I feel like there's obviously some admins that just come in here to just make sure it's all running good and no one's being racist or some other form of hate and just come in here to mess around. And then there's especially one admin called KY Jellyman.
Oh,
That dude-
Jellyman.
We love Jellyman.
Jellyman
Dude.
he's a absolute stickler, but he's a fun stickler.
That dude comes in like Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not mind putting his foot up
He
your
does
ass.
not. He gives you one warning, and if you do it again, you're getting sent to Narnia.
You're chewed. Like, drop down, do 50 right fucking now, kind of chewed.
Yeah.
Keep shit in order, which is what I really like about him.
The only reason why I know him and I kind of like him is because one of my buddies on here like knows him, almost all the admins, and I've hung out with him for a while. But yeah,
No,
when he comes in here
Jelly's-
and then just starts yelling over radio, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go sit in a corner and watch YouTube for the next 15 minutes
pull my
until we
popcorn,
leave
bro.
because I'm scared to do anything.
Nah, Jelly is an absolute
Yeah,
character.
Jelly's awesome.
Another
Yeah.
absolute character I love to talk about is Solus.
Oh, Solus is
I
another.
love Solus, and he comes in here and he creates chaos, but it's organized chaos.
I love Sosa for doing chaos.
It's chaos at the highest form, my friend.
Dude,
Solus
Solus
comes in here.
Solus likes to do funny shit. That guy trolls me all the time.
Yeah,
He put me in a stratosphere.
I love.
You understand how hard that is?
he does like
You want-
it's his thing, dude. If you misbehave, he'll fucking put you 7,000 feet up in the air and let you drop.
Hell yeah.
My favorite admins is Mil Sosa. He
It
just
took me
comes
20
He
seconds to hit
comes
the
in
floor.
here. He
Damn.
comes in here, gets in a van, and just starts playing music and soundboard clips of people from here.
Oh,
And it's
fuck
the
yes.
funniest thing. Because you'll just be going through like an op in Fallujah, kicking down doors, and you hear a lot of zoom by playing Mexican music and just people laughing in the car, and then they're gone. No
I'd say tomorrow was
sign
also
of them.
Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah, you can't remember. You can't forget Spoofy. Spoofy is the walking soundman. He will play any song you request.
Spoofy's a great pilot, funny dude. Get into shenanigans inside of the helicopters with him, but it's all fun and game.
Hell yeah. So with the update that just came out, I believe it's 1.3 update.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
1.3.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that? Has it upped the game?
I feel like stability wise for servers, it may have gone down a bit, but playable content made it way
more.
funner.
I agree, but
Rock
then
pods
they
and
changed the
LAVs are
controls.
beautiful.
You say they changed the controls?
Yeah, so I was piloting before they changed the controls, and I didn't realize they did, and ended up destroying a big amount of vehicles at base because my rocket pods were on the same binding as my right pedal.
Oh,
I didn't know this.
Oh, no.
And they threatened to kick me, and I was like telling them, like, listen, they've changed the controls.
You had to
Let me
plead
sort
for
it
your
out, and I
life.
proved to you right now it was wrong. And they let me do it, and yeah. That's the first time I met Jelly.
Oh, dude, that's quite the introduction.
First time I met Jelly, I got yelled at because I was GMing for this server. I got yelled at for something I didn't do. One of the GMs decided to make a little fence of crosses and then burn everyone inside of it, and Jelly didn't like that because you can infer something about that. He
some
ringed
people
my ass out. I was like,
this out.
as a Christian man, I would absolutely never do that. And then one of the other GMs owed up to it after I got yelled at.
I would say the first time I met Jelly was when I was worshiping him for funny, and then he received a drop me from the sky.
First time
Yeah,
I
he's-
met Jelly was when I was hanging out with a few buddies on Kunar, and some random dude came up and said to this woman I was hanging out with that she deserves to be. You may need to censor
What
that.
the?
Was it Kayla?
So, yes, it was Kayla.
Yeah, just Kayla. She's
And
quite common.
Uber came in like an F-18 bombing run, and it was, I saw his name said it KY Jellyman joined the fight, and then within I think 30 seconds there was that dude was banned. Like that dude quick dropped the ban hammer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jelly's an Aborigine wizard. He's got powers of untold power. Trust me. Do not pick a fight with him.
Yeah, every time I see Jelly hop in the server after while there's shenanigans happening, I'm terrified.
I'm wondering who gets banned.
Even though I'm not doing anything, I still think I'm gonna get caught in the crossfire somehow.
Oh, dude, the first day, actually, this was actually the first time I met Jelly, but I didn't know, like, I met him. It was my first day on the server, and the first time I got banned on the server, the same day I first played the server, and I shot a guy at spawn in front of Jelly, and I guess before I joined, he was pretty fed up with people shooting in spawn. He's like, I guess he said the next person to shoot in spawn is getting banned, and I joined and shot in spawn, and I didn't know. Oh, dude, he fucking banned me, and dude, I swear to God, I pressed the trigger, and I was gone.
Like the casing didn't even exit the chamber, and you're gone.
I know.
So on these on 75th, I know when you join up, they want you to do a basic training. Can you guys? I mean, obviously y'all have probably been through that. Can you tell me about that? Like, what is that like? Is it actually helpful? Is it kind of just silly? What are your thoughts on it?
As of recent, I've done it both back when my friend over here did it, and recently, because I've just recently joined back into the private servers. But other than that, I say yes, now you learn at least something from the get-go of joining the server. They make you watch a video of introduction telling you
I
basics.
just walked into someone's front room. Oh, I wish I had that. Yeah, they just
We're
told us.
in the middle of a podcast, you fucking asshole.
Oh, there's a golf cart. Look at it.
But anyways,
Golf cart.
they make you watch a video before you join the server. It's only a short video, maybe you think it's 15-20 minutes. They ask you questions on arrival.
No shit. That's crazy.
Holy shit.
So you would say the training that they provide and they require some people to take, and like if you want to move up, I know they have other trainings, like they have the special forces training, like you were talking about the ranger training.
Yeah, I've done two of the basic trainings. One's for 160th SOAR, and then the other was for just generally getting into the 75th. How they process you now is basically you go into a 4-man line, and then make sure you have your uniform and all that, and then they go ahead and ask you questions about the video you're supposed to watch, and then they sort you out based on what you're going into and what your selected MOS was. And then they run you through air assault, like what to do when you get out of a helicopter. They run you through the danger points of a helicopter. They do parachuting. They do a bunch of the good stuff that just generally makes stuff more organized and good stuff to learn for basic missions. And then for 160th, they teach you basically your helicopter. They teach you how to run it, how to make it nice and safe, what to put inside of it, the goodie bag rule, my favorite rule. I don't know if that one has a goodie bag in it, but it's a bag full of a bunch of good shit supposed to have for a helicopter. And generally, just a lot of useful information. Like the trainings are very useful.
Sorry to interrupt, but why do they have to exactly tell you the danger points of a helicopter? I feel like it's self-explanatory.
Listen, dude, I don't know if you've met people nowadays, but running in front of a GAU 19 on a Black Hawk is for some people it's inside the game.
Yeah, no.
They have one rule.
I forgot they're recruiting from the pubs.
Yeah, they have one rule. If you're in front of the gun, you are getting bolded, my friend.
You're supposed to just hit the deck as soon as you get out, and that's why.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I might tack off you, Flax. Back when, I actually just now rejoined the public server, but back when I joined originally, it was before we had the parachutes and all that funness. So on our basic training, we didn't have any video. We would just kind of get into like a school circle, or we would do like a fake little BT run, which I thought was kind of weird for online, most of them, or whatever. And then we would end up going to like a schoolhouse kind of area on Ireland, and we would just kind of go, and we would like Cadre would do some I'm assuming the same shit that's in the video, I'd assume, and then they'd ask us questions, and then we do like BT, whatever, and all those courses and whatnot. And then when we're done, we kind of do a similar deal where we get our uniforms, again, a 4-man line. Back then, they were forming up the mortar regiments, I believe, or
it was the parachute regiments and the water regiments. So you had to
that's
dive into water out of a helicopter, I think it was, or that's what I did.
Yeah, but it was before But I joined right before they got the parachutes, so I didn't get to be a part of that parachute because they formed the mortar regiment where they did the parachutes.
We didn't even have the mod in the server. We just jumped off a tower into a safe zone.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, and then we did
Oh,
it again
shit.
after, and we had to do it again in our private servers.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I never did. I mean, I did that like later on when they implemented it, but like before, when I joined beforehand, at the end of our basic, quote unquote, they would they kind of said, "Hey, you're a motor guy now," and I was like, "Oh, cool." and originally I wanted to be a medic, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I guess
That's
I'm a
what
motor guy
happened
now."
to me. That's what happened to me. I joined as a Fail on Bravo. This is recently. And at the end of the roster, they told me I was 11 Bravo, and they was like, "You're not meant to be here." And I was like, "Well, I'm here."
I'm here now, yeah. and then they just like shot me right at the Lance Corporal.
And then I got told, "Did you die though?" And then I'm like, "No, I'm here. I'm just here."
Yeah. And then, yeah, like when they implemented the parachutes and everything, then I got to get my jump wings, my sapper tab, and all that fun stuff.
So these trainings are legit. Like, do you feel like the trainings teach you something in the real world as far as tactics go, or do you think this just kind of mainly?
I learned how to read grids on a real map and then get my azimuth and reverse azimuth on a real map with a real compass.
It's not even that. It's just common courtesy. Like when you see somebody in service, you know how to greet them, you know how to talk to them. It's like simple like manners and just how to talk properly, like to people.
So you would say
It's like
it's in a way a developing the game, the server, I guess. Okay, hang on, let me back up. In a way, the server is helping develop young men to be better men, would you say? Or is that a stretch?
In a way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like Fox, what he said. If in a scenario where Fox needed to read a map to get grid markers for say search and rescue, he wouldn't have known before he joined the server. Now he knows perfectly how to do it.
I know how to triangulate my position on a map, and I tried it out in real life, and I was able to, and it was kind of cool.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, like, for my job, I had to do, like, I'd get placed in the kind of, like, middle of a wood area, like, they'd watch us, and I would, and, like, in real life, and, like, we would give us a map, and we actually do that, and they gave us no knowledge, and they have one instructor watching you. And so I was like, oh, shit, I already know this, cool. And my instructor was flabbergasted that I knew how to, like, find myself on the map and do everything.
Here's my next question. I've seen some servers have mental health chat rooms for the Discords for people looking for support mentally, job opportunities, where everyone posts a job opportunity in the area that they're at, so that way they could, as a community, help each other out, find jobs, or just help each other and lean on each other like a community. Would you like to see this in servers that you are also in, specifically this one?
Oh yeah.
I think that would be cool, but I also think that may be a problem in the long run because people are gonna be like, this dude's in blank in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and like try and dox him or something.
Yeah.
Because like, even though most.
Well, I mean, you're not putting your address or anything like that. You're putting job opportunities that, like, hey, you seen this online? Hey, over here they're hiring. It's a traveling job. You know what I mean? Just opportunity in bigger cities or areas, just to let people know.
I think that's a great idea in theory, but then you have every community has bad apples, and say you get into a disagreement with somebody, right? And you got that job.
They're gonna try and blackmail you.
You could pretty easily do some pretty shitty stuff with that, and of course it's still a great idea, of course, but I feel like it'd have to be somewhat different in a sense where like it's a little bit more anonymous because you have bad apples that would do shitty stuff with that.
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen that personally, but I haven't seen like job applications like people saying, oh yeah, if you need a job welding, here's a company they do business all over the US, like that type of stuff. I have seen like chat rooms like chaplains where you can go in there, tell like somebody your problems and have a chat with them about a situation. I've seen that on the private servers. Like if you look deep enough, there is like a server for that. So I think that is good because sometimes that's all people need, just a little chat.
When you jump on, do you consider the people you play with like friends of yours, or Would you consider them just people that you play with?
I would say
It
depending on the person.
It depends. I
Yeah.
have quite a few people like I know here that I'm acquainted with. Like they know me, I know them. And then I have people I'm friends with. Like I could give you a couple examples. Halfway Rain is pretty much one of my close friends on the server. Great guy. Silver is a great guy. I'm good friends with him. And then there's people like I'm acquainted with that I do like stuff with. It really just depends on how far you go and how much you play these servers, because a lot of the same people come back to them.
And especially if, like, how that person acts. Like, for me, since I like flying helicopters a lot, like, I will have someone as a co-pilot, and, like, I will talk to them, but I won't, like, be like, hey, come on, let's get my co-pilot seat again, or do something like that. But yeah, still, I've met a few people on here and actually have talk to them and know them pretty personally.
So you would say there's a pretty strong community going on here. Not in the fact that they just play together, but like they're your buddies, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I play with Ace Tactical, Pimpin, Jelly. Every time I see them in the server, I'll stay around them and chat to them. Most of the time they're in the server.
Yeah,
but
I do the same thing. A lot of the same guys in the server.
In the 75th, like they take milsim quite seriously. So there is structure to the ranks. So some people might have a closed door system, so you might have to reach. That's only in the private server, though.
Are you saying like the private server are a lot more milsim strict, and the public servers are more like, hey guys, check this out, we do this if you want to join?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, to an extent, because some battalions and some special regiments, some battalions and some special squads have their own servers where they dick around and have fun.
Yeah.
And then there's the serious private servers, like 160th has our own little fun time server that we just generally do a bunch of cool stuff in. And practice and all that, and there's no structure to that. It's really just for us to have fun with helicopter.
Yeah, so I mean, like, kind of jumping off what Fox Body said, like, for Bulldog, for example, I was in Bulldog, which is, like, I think, Bravo Water Company, and back then we would get a private server, and we would just, like, we would individually on our own time, like, go and, like, learn how to shoot the mortars, fuck around, do, like, just something like this, like, with a campfire and chat, and just talk about life. It was really nice after ops.
So have y'all played milsims before Arma Reforger, or is this your first milsim?
This is my first milsim.
Yes.
I played Hell Let Loose, and that was an experience.
I feel like Hell Let Loose would be more of the tactical shooter.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like
that's
Call of Duty
like
and Squad had a
it's realistic, but it's not milsim.
I joined the chill sim for Hell Let Loose, and I was a gunner for a Tiger. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was a driver for a Tiger. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got PTSD from that game.
What was your what's your username on Hell Let Loose, Dark Crusader?
The same as this one. He's either First Crusader or Dark Crusader.
Ah, I might have seen you before. I don't know if we joined the same one. I don't remember.
I like that. Yeah, I was gonna say I played as a Tiger, and a Jack Panzer commander specifically in Hell Let Loose.
Have you all ever played Squad or like Arma 3 or anything like that?
Yeah, I played Arma 3.
I played Arma 3.
I used to play Zeus for a small time in Arma 3 before I came to Reforger.
So Con Man is the only one that this is his first milsim?
Yes, I'm on Xbox, so there's very limited options.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was on PlayStation for a long time. Now, when did you get into the milsim, Con Man? What made you be like, oh, that's cool, I want to know how to do that?
I kept seeing a few of my buddies on Xbox play this game, and then they convinced me to try the demo for it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I ended up enjoying it, and then I just started playing it on my own. Then I found the modded servers, and this is one of my primary games I play.
So obviously, Arma got released to PlayStation. When that happened, and there was a wave of people coming in, obviously they're not on this server, but I'm sure y'all have played with them before, because they don't have mods just yet, so they're still in vanilla. Would you say it's been a positive thing that they did that, or would you say it's brought a lot of toxicity? What would you say about that happening?
I'd say it's positive.
It's a mix. It's a mix, actually.
I'd say it's a mix.
I say it's more of a headache than
They've got a PvP
toxicity.
server. I'm pretty sure they have.
That's the only server I've ever played on.
They got a PvP server for the 75th. I'm pretty sure they got their own regiment now. Not regiment,
they got
group.
Yeah, they got like 2 different vanilla PvP servers.
I see the aspect of PvE servers. They're fun. They're more coordinated. You know what I mean? Can y'all even PvP?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Catch me on WCS server 1 any time of the day, brother.
I'll meet you there.
Dude, I get up like 6 in the morning to play on that shit.
I like PvP, but since I'm on Xbox, it
He's just at a natural disadvantage.
Sometimes plays like I'm on a Nokia from 1994, and also
Isn't that older than you though?
What?
Isn't the Nokia 1994 what you just mentioned?
Yes.
How old would you have been whenever that was out? Like -10?
It would have been -10.
Yeah, like a negative. -9.
-9?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
I think
Same as him.
15.
Yeah, because I just played against I have some buddies, and my first PvE server that I was a part of, I was a part of a DayZ PvP server, and Arma came out for PlayStation, and so we all switched over to Arma, and it was a lot of fun. We didn't have any mods, so we did PvE and then sometimes PvP, and they've kind of traded hands a couple times. But I just went on there, and there was about 10 dudes, and I was the only one on the other team with the environment side, I guess you could say. I was the only real player on the environment side. And for about 30 minutes, I wiped the floor with them to the point they didn't even kill me, but like maybe 1 or 2 times, and I killed them about 3 times each. And we got done with the match, and they were complaining that there was too many AI bots. I called them out. I was like, you guys know you never died once to an AI bot. It was all to me. And the GM was like, he's not wrong. So I don't know. I the PvE players that I've played and faced off against, I whooped their ass. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some people that can do it, but I'd love to meet you in WCS any day, anytime.
Yeah, you'll catch a bullet Chaytac to your forehead when I get that intervention.
I don't know about that.
Grab his Discord, man.
I'm a scary shot. I'll tell you right now. I've nailed like some crazy shots in WCS.
Guerrilla warfare is my tactic, okay? It's the best tactic that you can play in any kind of war environment, and it seems like every time they play or someone uses that strategy, ever since the Revolutionary War where America, fought off Britain, they use guerrilla warfare tactics. It's an amazing tactic, and it's something that I use religiously, and I am pretty good at it.
Dude, if we're talking about pure gunnery, by the way, Latch, you'll likely see me up in that thing to my left over there. Comment is, see, I got absolute dead eye with that gun. I can range you out in about a second.
He's the Cobra Gunner version of Chris Kyle.
How many kills would you say you've gotten?
Oh, in this server alone, probably 200 so far.
200. Did you watch the interview with Jay Fox or J Hook?
He runs the Apache. That thing will run an entire op. This thing is 10 times more skilled than the Apache will ever be.
Yeah, but did you hear how many bodies he claimed?
How many bodies does he claim?
2,000.
Oh, are we talking?
Bullshit.
Yeah, 1,000 friendly kills don't really count. So.
It doesn't really count when Geneva's after you.
I would say, is he Russian at all?
No. I don't think so.
Damn, I can't.
No.
I can't make that joke.
So.
He sounded pretty Western to me.
Oh, very Western.
I was gonna say it doesn't count if Geneva's after you.
If Zeta, if he's in this series, Zeta will tell you, J-Hook doesn't like Zeta too much.
Yeah,
I think, let's say 200 of those kills are on Zeta.
So,
we got a member of the 75th who just joined.
So I guess my next question would be, out of playing on this server, is there anything that you would suggest to the people that run it what would you suggest?
Honest
Be
to God
respectful.
truth.
Honest to God truth. You can let it all out.
Be respectful. Know your place.
Maybe just a little bit more understanding sometimes, because I feel like sometimes we get people that it's their first times on the server and they do dumb shit and then like they get banned. I feel like a little bit more understanding, but then again, you do have to enforce the rules, and I like how they enforce them. But like generally, no, I feel like the 75th does a lot of things right.
Yeah, back on my quote earlier on, humans are human, people are gonna mess around. You know what I mean?
And that's on every server. There's gonna be a toxic
yeah.
admin. There's gonna be someone coming on there that had a rough day and they just want to go troll people.
It's understandable. Things happen, but you just got to, move past it, I guess. Adapt around it. That's the whole point.
So, is there anything that you would suggest at all, like maybe adding a certain mod that you've seen on other servers, or doing special ops, or
Yeah, drones.
I feel like we should add just for the absolute hell of it. There's a mod called the Stormhawk. It adds a 105 millimeter artillery gun to the side of the MI8 and to the side of the Huey. Oh my god,
That's gonna lag out everybody. Oh, like it.
It's the same model as the Howitzer, and we use the Howitzer all the time. So I feel like we could use.
Okay.
Do you remember that the drone mod, the recon drone they had?
Oh,
The DLXX one?
Yeah.
I wish they had that back. It was fucking stupendous. I ran JTAC for a week. It wasn't. I didn't bug out once.
Well, the issue there is like, you're only really good using that for like reconnaissance and PvE. If it's PvP on 75th Ranger Regiment server, oh god, that's gonna be fun. But I mean, like,
do they have that out?
Bomb drones and everything. No, they removed it. I was talking to the creator of the mod.
I was a goblin.
Hang on, Dark. What were you saying?
I was talking to Red Boss, the creator of the mod, or one of the people that worked on it, and he said the only problem was it conflicted with the WCS armament mod for the helicopters and put flares on it. So every time we flew on, you could see flares flying behind it. That's the only problem with it.
Honestly, I feel like that was a thing that was honestly helpful to it, because those drones are totally invisible on Xbox.
Also, I got an additional suggestion that comes from the heart here as a helicopter nerd. So a lot of people misunderstand how helicopters affect the server.
It's the dust particle.
So we end up taking away stuff that's not doing anything to the server, and it's not affecting it in any way, and we blame it for things. Like, they took up the Chinook, which was one of my favorite helicopters, because it had so many variants, and it could do basically whatever you needed it to do. And they removed it for supposedly killing the server, and we're still having server issues, even without the Chinook with helicopters. The same thing happened with the Cobra for a while, and that's my only request, is that sometimes we should look into issues and not just blame it on my beauty of a helicopter, the Chinook.
Yeah, I can add on to that. Like, I was trying for a while to have them add the Cobra before they added the Apache, and they kept denying it's quote unquote too overpowered, even though it's PvE, and if they couldn't find an actual reason to deny it, like, oh, it conflicts with this mod, or it has a dependent that doesn't work, or dependent that just would be bad for the server, they just pull the too overpowered if they don't want to be like, yeah, we're just not gonna add it.
To come off of that, they removed the Apache because it can run ops on its own. And the Cobra over there, we were just running an op before you pulled us in here, and we were almost needed because of how the op was structured, is that people would call us out when they really needed us, when they were getting overrun. It's not like we run the entire op, it's like we're an integral piece of it with the Cobra now. Like the Apache, you can just run it over a point, kill everyone. But in that thing, you're on call and you're there to help. It's like you're an integral part.
Like, and even if you're going just balls to the wall, dump all ammo, you're gonna run out within probably 35 seconds, because you don't got a lot of gun ammo, and the rockets, you have 76 of them at most, but still, those go real quick.
Hey, make sure you guys go check out my YouTube and jump in the Discord, and we can go do some PvP sometime and record. It'll be fun.
One with the flare.
Stuck.
Look down, look down, look down.
Oh, thank God.